So apparently Ben Horowitz has said billionaires prefer black women and some black men are upset. We're the preference.
That billionaire also apparently said that black women are loyal and they guard your interests. Black wives are for grown-ups. Oh, except according to the man himself, he never said that whatsoever. Yeah, he says, I never even said that. I never even spoke to the woman who originally posted the article. I actually sent her a cease and desist. Interesting. He says, but well, now I do love my wife, who is a black woman, but I don't talk like that about groups of people. W. Ben. Because if you think about it, why would you talk like that about groups of individual humans with individual values and individual thoughts simply because they may look alike? But the amount of people that took this and ran with it as if black women as a whole won some sort of Academy Award, well, that's just embarrassing whether it was true or not. Why would you ever want to seek validation and blind praise based on your race as a whole? It'd be like me looking at Jay-Z, for example, and saying, hey, according to the government, that guy fits into the same racial category as me. Therefore, his accomplishments are also mine. It's like he's an extension of me. It's the diaspora. Praise me as well. The follow-up to a statement being good or bad is irrelevant when the statement is black women do this, black men do this, white women do this, white men do this. When you hear that, you should feel absolutely degraded because someone is using their preconceived notions, positive or negative, to group you into this racial box. But as long as you get validated, I guess it doesn't really matter what they say, huh? Wait a second. You said the man with money said what? Oh yes, I knew it. I knew my countless failed relationships couldn't have just been my poor discernment when choosing a man or my inability to communicate effectively. I always knew that I was the prize. I'm now validated enough to say that simply based on my vague and incredibly broad race and gender, I was never the problem because a billionaire said so. Accountability and humility are starting to seem foreign at this point.
And just come with less bullshit when it comes to dating right now. And all the pick-me's that want to stand up for the black man, this is not me dissing the black man. This is me about to give you some facts. Okay? I am a femininity dating coach. I get on these dating apps on a regular and I coach these women, right? This is a prime example of what's going on right now. This young lady, she is on Bumble. She is mirroring, which means she can see my screen, I can see her screen, I can see the whole conversation. She is talking to two black guys and one white guy because whether you believe it or not, black men, you are our first preference. We do want to be with y'all, but y'all just be on some bullshit. So the first black man, 47 years old, wants to talk about social media dating culture. She says, I'm not interested in talking about that. Tell me something about you, right? And he's like, okay, so what you want to know? She said, what's your favorite cuisine? He said, I really don't care, right? And she said, okay, well, what's the last place that you would like to eat? What do you like to do? And he was like, it really don't matter to me. Not having no type of dialogue, not asking her ish, right? I said, move on to the next person. Second black guy, right? She said, oh, you're not too far from me. We've been talking for 24 hours. I can't wait to physically meet you in person. Do you ever plan on coming to town? He said, oh, I'll let you know. Okay, you're not really making me feel too special.
Exactly.
The third guy was a white guy named Ross. Ross has not only been talking to her consistently, they have finally decided to exchange like text now numbers. This man has booked a restaurant reservation at a very nice, I wrote down 4.5 star wine lounge. Okay. They serve wine, they serve lounge, drinks and food and stuff. It's so nice. White man, 47 years old. Same age as the first one. He has already in less than 24 hours moved forward with a date. Talked to her consistently, asked questions back. He asked her about her favorite food before she asked him. He asked her about, can you show up for me? She can see me right now. Okay. He asked her, where was she raised? He asked her about her family, and he started mentioning stuff off her profile. Like, he was inquisitive.
Exactly.
Y'all ask us why we switching races so much, but it's just like the proof is in the daggone pudding. This one white man has done more than these two black men combined. So this is not me. I don't want y'all to think I hate black men or anything like that, but it's just like, y'all make it freaking difficult. Y'all say, oh, we're difficult. No, y'all are the difficult ones. Right. Y'all really are. Nobody's about to kiss your ass. Why kiss your ass when she can go out with Ross?
Hello.
When she's about to pick out a nice dress, about to go to a nice restaurant, have a good time with a guy named Ross who is 47 years old and a doctor. At least that's what his profile says. You never really know. Yes. But I don't know. I have no freaking clue what to say at this point. Like, I'm just disappointed in y'all.
The black woman will date and, as reported daily, will marry a white man. She finds in her relationship with the white man perhaps the answer to all her dreams and fantasies. First, he is removed from the black experience and brings a new set of rules to the involvement. Second, he represents the culmination of every movie and TV show she has ever seen, featuring a gallant white beau who knows how to treat a woman and swoops in, coming to her rescue. Third, he is an alternative set of men whom she believes can be utilized because of the non-availability of black men. Now that there appears to be fewer black men and she can't get along with any of them, she is pursuing other races to see what she can see. When the black woman gets with the white man, she may manufacture a complete new set of vows, which she uses to construct her new light in every proper voice. She irresistibly becomes ever so amused by his jokes and pretends to like things he does. She becomes an actress of sorts, and she relaxes a bit because the white man does not know the full story of her failure with the black man. Since the white man does not know the ins and outs of black intimacy, he is more tolerant of her, and they both enjoy the novelty. She can wear as much makeup as she desires, and to the white man, this is normal. While the black woman is known to ignore a black man on the street corner, in an elevator, or on the subway, she seems always ready and eager, She seems always ready with an eager, appealing smile when a white man, especially one in his suit and tie, tries to make light conversation with her. She appears to be flattered and falls into her crisp, bright personality. Her smile is sometimes so instant it looks like a flash of sparkling white snow, blushing and appreciative. If she decides to date him later on, she is seen as overtly affectionate in public. There may be hugging, provocative kissing, or fondling in public. She is willing to ignore many of the white man's shortcomings regarding wardrobe, language, hipness, music, car, or job. She convinces herself that he is normal and she must accept him as he is, and above all, he's just another man. When she is with him, she thinks she is finally free of all the black man's hassles and free of her own history. She is proud of him in front of her family and friends, or on the other extreme, she knows that her social integration relationship will not be accepted. So she keeps it a secret. He is considered special to her and automatically knows how to treat a woman, certainly better than the black man does, she thinks. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward, continuing my reading of Sister Shahrazad Ali's book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. And we are reading chapter 5 on page 53, chapter 5, Social Integrating, Dating and Marrying the White Man. So this is a short chapter, so this video will be shorter than usual, but don't let the shortness of it deter you from the impact of this video, right? Because we're getting into it like we always getting into it. So you see, I started the video with a clip from a something that's been floating around social media for a while. Some black woman put out a post saying that the white billionaire Ben Horowitz supposedly said that black women are for grown-ups, and basically saying black men are not grown-ups and white men are grown-ups and black women are for the billionaire white men. But you see in the video, Ben Horowitz refuted that. He said he didn't say it. And, you know, he heard the brother's breakdown of it. And that was followed by another black woman who said she's a dating coach, basically explaining from her purview of why it's better for black women to date and or marry white men. But specifically in this situation, she was talking about dating a white man, because out of 3 men, two men were black, 1 was white, and the 2 black men were inadequate. They were lazy. They were not putting in the effort that the white man was putting in. And so it goes back to what I just read, right? The idea that one, the black man is inadequate. It's not enough black men, and the black man and the black woman are not getting along. You know, this is a narrative that has been put out in the atmosphere, and it's caught fire. And so there's a big rift that's been prevalent in the black community. I mean, this book was written, once again, this book was written in 1989, right? And this book is basically, it's relevant to what's going on now. So there are a number of black women, because I'm competent enough to know this is not how all black women think, but there are a number of black women who believe that black men are inferior, who believe that they're better than black men, and white men, specifically white men, would be their saviors from themselves or from the misery that they believe that they experience with black men. And I've been able to talk to a lot of women. Well, I've been able to talk to a number of women who have who are disenchanted with dating black men. And when you ask a lot of questions, you get a lot of answers, and you learn a lot of things. And one of the things that I've come across is a lot of these women are dating men who are inadequate. They're choosing men for specific reasons that don't have nothing to do with why they should actually be dating them, because that man is not good for them. And because of the negative situations, especially multiple negative situations, because they keep choosing men who are not good for them, they paint a broad picture that this is how all black men behave. And of course, we know that's not true. But we have, nevertheless, a rift that's going on. And once again, the white man is supposed to be the savior. But fundamentally, my view on interracial dating. So historically, there's nothing wrong with interracial dating. Historically, it has always happened. When groups of people meet each other and groups of people find each other attractive throughout history, this happened. Now, currently in America and throughout parts of the world, or throughout the whole world, because the system of white supremacy is global, because of the presence of the system of white supremacy, it is not advantageous for black people to marry white people. We need to be building families to build power. Black families build black power, and we need more black families. So we need more black people building, in relationships with black people, so we can become a group of people that can self-actualize and take care of ourselves. Of course, I'm speaking on a macro level, and do I expect that to actually happen? No time soon, if ever, but that is what needs to happen for us to become a group of powerful people, to be able to protect ourselves and fend for ourselves and build for ourselves and not depend on white supremacy. So black families are needed, but black families won't happen if either black women and or black men don't have the idea, that mindset. See, that I do agree with Dr. Umar Johnson that black people need to be marrying black people, but I'm not going to go on a crusade to try to force anybody to do anything. That is not my job, right? But me, Joseph Ward, a black man, I'm going to marry a black woman. Matter of fact, I'm involved with a black woman. I'm in a relationship with a black woman now. I've always been in relationships with black women, right? So me, I choose black, but I'm not going to fight nobody if they not, and I'm not going to hound nobody if they not. But I fundamentally believe that we need to be with each other to build the power that we need for ourselves, right? But a lot of black people, specifically for this video and this book, black women, their minds are tainted. They've probably made bad decisions being with the wrong black men, or black men have been horrible to them based off their own bad decisions, and it hasn't worked out. So a broad picture has been painted. That's unfortunate for them. But I don't think that we should get upset at them and try to go out and try to change their minds. I just think black men just need to continue being the best versions of ourselves. And hey, the black women who see us and value us, those are the ones that we rock with. We're only rocking with black women that value black men. If you're a black woman that don't value a black man, well, this ain't for you. But we have to understand the mindset behind the ones who don't, because it does negatively affect our community when it comes to overall building group power. So let's jump back into it. Page 54, the second paragraph. She believes she has tried in every way possible to be with the black man, and each time he fails. And it's all his fault. To just say with the black man because he is her natural mate is absurd to her, and as her history has proven, counterproductive. Even worse, the black man is irritating to her. He just won't do right. He is unwilling to accept a new approach and allows nothing to cloud her fine perceptions. She refuses to be governed by an obsolete set of standards that imply unselfish conduct and actions made only if they benefit the black nation. That's fine for the public, but in her private affairs, she is coldly analytical about what she wants personally, and in that area is oddly detached from her people. At last, as a last resort, she may explain, it just happened. Nothing just happens. There's an explanation for everything. Even if the explanation is not immediately known, it can be explained and it is not new. Intention was put there. So once again, like I said earlier, because of bad experiences, intentions is put into getting a white man. So the white man is a better option because all black men are Pookies and Ray Rays. No black man is a good black man. All white men, well, white men are better, despite the shortcomings of white men. Because remember, we read earlier that the black woman, these black women will overlook the shortcomings of these white men. Hey, everybody make mistakes. But even though it's the same thing that if the white man does the same thing that the black man does, the black man is ridiculed, but the white man is given a chance. He's given grace. Hey, it'll get better. It'll get overlooked. So the black woman is deliberately lying to herself in this situation. Only to reinforce her idea of the white man being a better option for black women, specifically her, than black men, based off of her experience and her history. So one thing she need to do is she got to figure out why she attracting the men she attracting. I mean, there was a time in my life where I was not happy with the women that I was attracting, but I had to understand that I was attracting those type of women because I was that type of dude. Just as simple as that. When I grew up, the choices of black women or the caliber of black women that was interested in me, it improved. I've always took accountability for the people. I've always, especially when I learned better, I started taking accountability for the women that I was attracting. Now, I've had my dating experience with black women hasn't been the best. It hasn't been, but it's never tainted my overall view that a black woman was the best option for me, or that black women are great women, or black women are beautiful, black women make great wives. It never tainted that, because I understood that this was my individual experiences, and this does not paint the broad picture of other black women. Why? Because I know great black women, and I see them thriving in relationships in real life with black men. Right? So those black women in the videos and the black women that that Shahrazad Ali is talking about, those black women are short-sighted. Those black women took it to heart. Those black women they lost their minds, basically, right? And so they decided to paint a broad picture because they didn't get the outcome that they intended to get. But I do always have to ask the question: what is the caliber of man that you are giving your love to? Because you can't convince me that like good black men are just waking up one day and just deciding to ruin black women's lives, or just deciding to just be horrible to black women and treat them in the kind of way. You can't convince me of that. So the black woman believes that she has reached the ultimate pinnacle of personal development achievements when she arrives at the point of seriously considering dating a white man. She pretends to herself that his color doesn't matter, and to her, it doesn't. For her to pick a white man as her mate only demonstrates further her disdain for the black man and her decision to not take it anymore. The white man can give her new options, new freedom, and new notoriety. She finally gets her opportunity to play like she is the kind of glamorous white girl she has seen on the television and in the movies all of her life. And if watched closely, she can be seen acting out the mannerisms of white women. She has absolutely forgiven the white man for enslaving her people, and the white man has forgiven himself for enslaving black people. But the poor black woman has not forgiven herself for being a slave. Her spirit was broken during that time, and the genetic psychological damage she suffered has never been addressed or healed. Her suffering was internalized and transmitted through fear and anxiety, and it was the fear that resulted in her current insecurity in the black man. She does not believe that she can count on the black man to protect she and her babies. She views the black man as weak and powerless in their world and easily manipulated. She despises him for his so-called big ego and does everything she can to tear him down and make him forget that idea. She has never dealt with her attitude about refusing to allow the black man to bask in the pride of having a big ego. She does not want him to think well of himself because she does not think well of herself. She wants him to believe that she is unworthy, She wants him to believe that he is unworthy. She has no idea what it would feel like to agree with the black man about his big ego. She might like it. She does not want to agree with him that he is great. Instead, she chooses to take the white socialist alleged research that reveals the bulk of black men are still shiftless, uneducated, and plain lazy, which is a lie. She thinks he wastes time trying to do impossible things and that his goals are misdirected and futile. Believing this, it is not difficult for her to Believing this, it is not difficult for her to renege on the men in her own nation and try to fit into the race of another. And she is much more tolerant and patient with Caucasians of every age. And that's because she's broken. And she may not even understand about her brokenness. When you are the person who is rejecting your own people, it's like the white girl who comes up to the group of black people and tell you that she don't like white boys. She ain't never liked white boys. She'll never date a white boy. I don't know about y'all, but I be looking at her like, you are such a sellout. You are such a sellout, and you have not impressed anything over here saying that. You ain't got a chance at nothing over here telling me that, well, I don't date no man of my own race. Well, what's wrong with you? That was always my first thought. Well, what's wrong with you? So same thing with the black woman. She's broken. Something is definitely not right there. There's some trauma there. There's some issues there. There's the programming has been tainted, because if you have the idea that you are in a better situation, you're in a better place, and the black man is not good for you at all, like the black man is not good for you, like, wow, the black man is actually poisonous to the black women. Having that mindset is a direct flag that something ain't right up there. Something is wrong. You should never trust a person who don't have love for the people of their own race. The white girl who don't date white boys, we ain't rocking with you. The black woman who don't date black men, we ain't rocking with you. The black man who don't date black women, we ain't rocking with you. The white boy who don't date white women, we ain't rocking with you. Something wrong with you. Some of y'all may disagree with me, but hey, that's how I think, and that's what I'm gonna continue to rock with. If you don't have love for your own people, why should I have love for you? It is the most convenient for her to believe that there is a shortage of black men. Hopefully, there will continue to be a shortage of the type of wimpy, futile black men she is looking for to control. Oh, shoot, now. Since she can't have that kind of black man she can rule, she is now pleading for social empowerment. She wants authorized governmental permission to achieve and be strong, stronger than the black man. She has turned the process of personal growth into a social activity instead of spiritual commitment. The empowerment she seeks is really the right to devour the remaining black men who will have refused to submit to her. Dating and marrying the white man is another flimsy excuse used to get out of the inevitable submitting to the black man. Her new political idea of empowerment gobbles up and eliminates the rules that give the black man superiority and the black nation longevity. I'm just saying. Once again, the caliber of man that she's looking for. So as Shahrazad Ali is explaining, she's looking for men that she can dominate. Now, I've had conversations with women who have told me that at one point in their lives they have, and I'm talking about a whole bunch of women who have looked for men who they could have power over until they got to a point where they was like, man, I don't want him. And, it's amazing the number of women that I've had that conversation with. And you got to remember, I have a privilege of having these type of conversations with women and people, period, because of the nature of the job that I do. I sit down and have conversations with people about their relationships and their sexual relationships and anything that they're in, what went right, what went bad, so we can find out how we can help them get better, right? So I'm talking about, I've had conversations with I can't even put a number on it, but if I had to give a round number, I'd probably say thousands, about 1,000 Black women, right? Probably more. Just the number of people I get to talk to. So this is not something that is just out the blue, right? There are a lot of women, and let me be clear. I've had conversations with thousands of women. I'm not saying that thousands of women have told me that they prefer to have a man that they can dominate. I'm just saying I've had thousands of conversations with women about relationships, period. And out of those thousands of conversations, there have been a good number of women who have told me that they've looked for men that they can have power over until they realize that that's a weak man and that's not the man that they want. Also, hitting on the point of her talking about the idea that there are not enough eligible Black men for the Black women. And I refute that vehemently. I refute that because, one, a lot of women are basing that on educational achievement and or salary and type of job that they have, not the quality of the man. Now, of course, we want our Black men to get their money, but they're not talking about the quality of men. And if they are talking about the quality of men, they're thinking about the trash men that they came across in the past. So once again, their tainted past is dictating how they look at Black men now and all the stories that they've heard from their other friends in the TV and the influence of media and all those things there. So the picture of the Black man is a tainted picture. The Black man in her mind, and this Black woman's mind, the Black man is not an option because he's just not a good man, which is a bad thing, a bad view to have about the men of your own race. Certainly, the white man's free state of mind and open approach to things appears to be more attractive to her. But the white man has never been a slave. A few cases of indentured servitude did not impact the psyche of the white man in a destructive way as full slavery impacted upon the Black man. So the Black man appears outclassed when compared to him. The Black man's accomplishments over trillions and trillions of years should not be compared to the measure of success the white man has set in America. There are more non-white people on earth than white people. The white race is not the pace setter, and neither is the Black woman. They are both pace followers. The Black woman does not study or value history, does not realize that the time she is living now is not the sum total of the time that she and the Black man have inhabited the earth. Her mega generations have existed long before 2,000, 4,000, or 6,000 years ago. 6,000 years are but a drop in the bucket when compared to the time that the Black man has walked the earth in peace. She has allowed her part to become remote and irrelevant. But it's these false and negative narratives that continue to spread fast and fast and fast and fast and fast and fast and fast. The idea that the Black man is not good enough for the Black woman. So if a white billionaire says that Black women are for grown-ups, and to be a grown-up, the qualification for being a grown-up is being a billionaire. The Black man will continue to be compared to the white man because the white man is the standard of manhood in America. And only Black women who have issues mentally and emotionally and psychologically will see the white man as their salvation. The Black woman sees the Black man integrating too. She witnessed him dating and marrying the white woman, so she considers her part of the contribution to the 50,000 black women who date and marry white men as small significance. And others of them complain that the black man is with the white woman because she is easier to get along with, or that she gives him better sex, or that she respects him more. She doesn't know that he is with her for one reason and one reason only. He is with her because she gives him peace. However, it is described, the end result he sees for himself is peace. Of course, there are a few who claim the white man or that they can possess her because they are denied her. These are flimsy and flaky excuses for not being familiar with the word peace. Certainly not all cases are the same, but each race has behavioral traits that cannot be classified as stereotyping due to the incidents that have occurred in their evolution into who we see today. This is referred to as the nature of something or someone. Now, no, I agree. Any man, any smart man would choose peace. Any smart man would choose peace. But I do know that one of the excuses that I hear some black women use is, well, we can date outside of our race because black men date outside of their race. And a lot of them say, well, black men have more opportunities to date outside of their race, and it's kind of not fair. But, you know, that goes back to desirability by other races of men. You can't make another race of men interested in you just because you're not interested in your own race. That's just not how it happens. Those men have to be attracted to you and see value in you. And if they don't, they won't. It's just that simple. It's not difficult. If a man does not see value in a woman and she's not bringing him peace, he ain't choosing her. Race don't even matter. But in this case, some of these men are saying that these are the reason why they're choosing white women. Once again, fundamentally, I disagree with that. I think black people should be marrying black people, but I'm not going to try to convince somebody to do something that they don't want to do. If you can't see the value in your race, I can't help you, right? But the excuses that are used to look down upon your counterpart in your race, that's crazy. That's wild. The truth be told, any black woman can have a man. Any black woman can have any man she chooses. Of course, her requirements will have to be adjusted, and she will have to qualify to get one. Let me read that again. Of course, her requirements will have to be adjusted, and she will have to qualify to get one. The qualifications are standard, routine, and necessary, and a necessity. She will have to unquestionably submit herself to be ruled by the black man. She will have to allow him to be the boss. No black man turns down a good woman. It has nothing to do with how she looks, how she dressed, or otherwise. All of it has to do with how the black woman behaves and how much respect and care she gives the black man. A good woman does not have a special physical profile. When the black man finds a good woman whose nature he is attracted to, he will remain with her forever. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe not just her alone, but he will include her in his life. And what the black woman wants is to be included in the life of a black man. As soon as she realizes that she can have a black man, but not on her terms, she will have one. As soon as she realizes she can have a black man, but not on her terms, she will have one. When she reaches this level of understanding, she will not even consider dating or marrying the white man. And she certainly will not participate in the American conversational habit of publicly criticizing her man. When the black woman attacks the black man publicly and inadvertently, when the black woman attacks the black man publicly, she inadvertently gives the entire world permission to attack him also. Because everyone knows that a man's woman knows him better than anyone else. And if she says he ain't good, then he is not. That's where my reading ended. And that's chapter 58. And that's the whole of chapter 5. Page 58, the whole of chapter 5. But we have to understand. Well, let me put some understanding when we're talking about submission as well, right? Like my pops has always told me that you have to give a woman something to submit to, and I've always believed that you have to give someone something to submit to. A woman shouldn't just submit to you because you're a black man. She should submit to you because you're a black man who is capable of leading her and helping and creating something great with her and creating a brighter future with her. Like, you are actually capable of doing that. So you are somebody that can be submitted to. You shouldn't be submitted to just because you're a man. Now, the idea that I can't submit to a man at all, or I would never submit to a black man, is also crazy, right? Leadership, true leadership, somebody has to, if you want to be led, you have to submit to leadership. It's plain and simple. If you want to be led, you have to submit to leadership, because there's responsibility that comes with that leadership. That if you're not willing to deal and bear the responsibility, then the leader has to take that on. But you have to be able to submit to me for me to properly lead you in the right direction. And if you are not willing to submit to me because I'm a black man, or because you had a history of bad relationships, then you are not fit to date. You're not fit to be married. And going to the white man won't make it better, because he won't be with you either. Don't let the white skin fool you. They not dumb. White men and black men, we have different experiences. We operate different. We see women different. We go through things different, but they're not dumb. They're not going to choose you just because you're a black woman and you think you're a good woman. If your relationships are constantly failing with your own men, you're going to continue failing with other men. Who you think you are? It's not just going to stop because the race of the man changed. It's you. You're the common denominator, and that's for anybody. Changing races will not improve your chances of getting someone or having a healthy, strong, productive relationship, especially if you're trash. If something is wrong with you, if you're not healed, if you're not fixed, if you haven't addressed what's going on within you, how you expect it to work with anybody? Don't let somebody's skin color or the abundance or the lack of melanin make you think that these people are just crazy and they're just gullible and they're just going to get with you because of the ideas that you have in your head. Who are you actually, and what type of real world outcomes are you actually getting from your dating life? That's going to be a clear indication of what type of person you are. What is the caliber of people that you attract? No matter the race, what's the caliber of them? Right? At some point, you got to look at yourself in the mirror. But I do think that there's a section of black women who are negative, who are tainted something. They don't like, they hate black men, they hate themselves, and they are loud, and the voices are out there, and they're the loud minority. But the problem is there's a quiet majority of black women who don't think like that, who we don't hear from. So that loud minority is the dominant voice that we hear. Those are the dominant narratives. The quiet majority who don't think like that, they are failing us because they are allowing the loud majority, the loud minority, to speak for all black women and to paint the picture for all black women. And as the young man said in the video, in the first video, as a race, we're going to win or lose together. Whether you want to or not, as a race, we're going to win or lose together in our overall image. It can be constructed off of the actions of the few. So we have to think about that when the next time we don't want to speak up. You got to speak up, because remember, the machine behind these people too, the white supremacist machine behind these people, want these negative narratives to circulate so they can further drive us apart, so we can further become more powerless. The more powerless we are, the less of a threat we are. Black families is not something that the white supremacist structure want to exist, but we have to fight that and do like our ancestors did and be willing to die to build black families, because that's what I'm on. So Sister Shahrazad Ali, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. This is chapter 5, pages, it's a short chapter, so pages 53 to 58. And we will pick up on chapter 6, communications, next week. And that starts on page 58. So, like always, I thank you for everybody who is continuously supporting me via all the different means that you can support me. I want to give a special shout out. Let me pull this up. I want to give a special shout out to Meekum. I want to give a special shout out to Meekum because you keep showing love. You're constantly showing love, and I appreciate everything that you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know, y'all like this video, get in that comment box, share, all that stuff. Hit the super like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and the link to get the book is in the description as well. So make sure you get the book, get your copy of the book so you can keep up with the reading, because we want to read as much as possible, expand ourselves, grow, and utilize this information. I love you all. Make sure y'all catch the next video coming up.